Let's see Paul Allen's card.
He's not in there.
Why would he be in his office at 3 o'clock? Where is he? Conference room.
Okay, I believe that is an L.
It is, in fact, an L.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
All right. I make myself laugh when I watch that silly intro. I spend way too much time trying to find stuff, trying to edit into that. And then finally get it going. I'm like, I don't like any of this. And it makes me giggle. It makes me giggle. I'm sorry. All right, everybody. Listen, so this thing, it continues to go. It continues to build. It's, I saw the Yellow Flash had put up today some numbers on G4. And it got me thinking, I've been honored. I've had the Umbrella Guy and Ethan Van Sciver both comment in the chat here about this, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal to a little guy like me, and it makes me think that this is a pivot. Okay, I think this is going to be the pivot of 2022. I think this is the zit that came to a head that's ready to pop. And that's why we're covering this. Also going to do cover some other little stupid things. I mean, always. We talk whatever anything you want to. Jimmy, yes, it is, isn't it? I love that, that little clip. I cannot believe that she said that, right? I mean, who would ever think she went down there and she's like, to people that want to come to America, do not come. Do not come. And then you got Trump's like, oh, I'm going to come. And he does. I mean, look at that grin he's got on his face. He knows what he was saying. I mean, we all know it. So anyway, welcome here. I hope everybody does great. Whenever you listen to this, I have a tremendous, for me, following of people that after the show's over, they pick up on this. And so, again, you may not be here right now, but when you do get here, it's going to be fabulous. I have one of the best beverages in my hand right now. It is the McDonald's regular, just the way God intended it, Coca-Cola. And if you want to have a trolling moment in your life, go to McDonald's. And what's great about it is because it's only $1. Any size soft drink's $1. So go to McDonald's. And it heals up Harris. You and I read the same memes, Jimmy. Dude, like, I remember, I was like, when she was running, I was like, wait a second, I know there's a story about her I remember. And I was like, what is it? What is it? I was like, I kept thinking about is it Willie Harrington or is that the DC mayor from a long time ago? Anyway, I could have, I was thinking, I was like, God, I know it's like this mayor and stuff. And I finally found out. I was like, I can't believe nobody's talking about that. It was before I had a YouTube outlet. And then all of a sudden, people picked up on it and they started doing heels up. And I was like, that is so great. Matter of fact, that's what gets me over. There's this chick on also on YouTube. And she's the one that was, if you remember the Gabby Petito stuff, she was out there with like a bullhorn harassing that family. Well, she came here to Tennessee and she went to Upper East Tennessee. There's a missing girl up there, Summer Wells. And this chick went up there with this bullhorn and starts yelling at this family of this missing little girl. And this is up in a holler. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is, but I mean, this is like the song Copperhead Road, like wrote about. That type of area. Steve Earle, Copperhead Road. If you're not familiar with that song, you've got to listen to it. And this chick, her thing is like heels on the ground, and I couldn't help but laugh the whole time. I was like, yeah, heels up. She had heels up. I think I even maybe called her heels up on the ground once. So anyway, this whole thing, this Frosk giant deal, I think it's the pivot. I think it's the shot that was heard around the world. I think it's what everybody has been wanting. It's a rallying point. You have very, very big time streamers here with the quartering and the Flash, and they got into an argument over this. And the more as time goes by, you get away from the Flashcast Saturday night, you have to think to yourself like, well, what's the overall thing here? Like, why was that such a big deal? And you start realizing that maybe the Flash threw the gauntlet down and said no more. Maybe the quartering was saying, what if? I don't know, but it continues to grow, continues to be talked about, and I was like, okay, let's go back to the beginning. If you guys, anybody who's listening who doesn't know me or maybe forgot, my background's in politics and in law, and I like applying law. I don't like anything about the law. Okay, I don't like it. I love liberty. I love common law. I love good legislation. But I'm not going to sit here and do an entire breakdown of a court case, even though I enjoy them. I don't think when I try to bring humor and laughter and I don't know, lightheartedness. Let's do that. Let's not try to brag and say humor and laughter. Those are difficult things. Lightheartedness to the law, but also at the same time, yeah, I want to bring that classical training to people that aren't. You didn't go to law school. You don't view things in this screwed up way that people that went through that punishment do. Let's see, Rumble myself. Hop on Cool Frog Show. All right, Jimmy, I'm going to check out all your stuff, man, after this is over. Anybody check this guy out right here. Jimmy YouTube. I didn't even notice your part was YouTube. In my mind, I looked down. I was just thinking, okay, here's YouTube. I call people by their last names, right? That's awesome. Check out Jimmy's stuff. I'm going to after this is over. I used your footage on Flashcast when Jeremy had his little freak out. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Anytime. Yeah. Somebody said something to me one time. Like they did a podcast or something, and asked if they could use some stuff I use maybe on the Tsunami. Tonga. I forgot the name of the island. It's okay. I don't think it's there anymore. Congo, wherever, where the volcano went off. And I never got back to him. Listen, here's my rule. If there's something I've got up here, go ahead and use it. If you want to talk to me about it or anything, talk to me about it. I don't care. I'm for the platform, and I don't. Maybe if it was super duper, I'm not going to do. I'm not a copyright person. I'm not one of these people. I don't care. My content is your content. Just all of us. Just try to subscribe to your Everybody. That's all we as a group, we as YouTubers, we need to subscribe to each other. Look at the silly numbers that make you go through, right? Subscribe to your favorite YouTuber. If you sit there and you listen to it a little bit, just hit that little subscribe thing, and later on, if you don't like anything else they say, you can ignore them. I had something pop up for me the other day that I subscribed to like years ago, and it was about I was like, what is this? And then I saw the guy, I really liked something he had been talking about. I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad to see this guy's still around on YouTube. I hate when people have a really good channel and they go away or they just stop, which unfortunately happens all the time. Yeah, man, anytime you want to. Dude, I'll do a chat with you want to. I don't care. I mean, listen to me. I'm a talker. I am going to warn everybody that the entire month of October, I had a sore throat. And it was from getting into all the stuff. And then to show you how things change, I in December was stricken with the coronavirus. I had the monoclonals, and I did great from them. But anyway, my YouTube income went down, and I noticed now my sore throat is coming back as I start doing these live streams, which I've just been really enjoying. Guava Ball, awesome! Glad to see you back. Anyway, yesterday, dude, you're on fire. I loved it. But yeah, it's like I woke up this morning. I was like, man, my throat's tender. It's like, why is that? And then I realized, I was like, oh, I kind of stopped there for a while. Yeah, we gotta be careful. You can't say stuff on YouTube if they think it's bad. And I want to sit here and say I'm not a medical professional. I believe in all the things that you should follow the CDC, the guidelines. You should go get tested. You should go talk to your doctor. Don't listen to me. And matter of fact, you should probably turn off the channel right now because you should never listen to me. So anyway, I hope social media is okay. I'm glad to see you guys know each other. All right, let's jump in this. Let's see, where's my tab here? Because I've got to get another monitor. I was listening to Rakita do a thing, and he said how he had 3 monitors, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Like, it'd be so nice to be able to have your stuff up. Like when I'm doing a video, I can't follow the a chat at the same time. Hot tea and honey. You know, I had green tea just a second ago. I had God, I love that stuff. Matcha tea. Anyway, now I think everybody thinks I'm a flake. Okay, listen, I love my matcha tea. Oh yeah, 3 minute monitors be awesome. You know, I'd love to have if one day it's just a chat where everybody just sits down and starts talking about like just hash out the best rigs, you know, and like and when I say best, like that includes like price, like you got to watch a price point and stuff. Like, how do you set up for YouTube? How do you set up for gaming? How do you set up for podcasting? That's entirely different. You know, I just think we're such a society. You have an answer for everything now, and that we're kind of getting, I don't know, too big. Is that possible? Maybe not big enough. When you have someone who's trying to start into something like this, it's they get overwhelmed. I mean, I was overwhelmed, and finally, I just got a kick in the butt. Oh, Summer Frost, awesome. Mirage Leonard. Listen, we're going to get into this right now because I watched this last night. Now, I always do my stuff live with you guys, but I was like, I felt like I kind of need to have this background. Sushi, awesome. I'd like to see that red-eyed tree frog here. I do not eat tree frogs as sushi. You guys, this is, okay. This is what's sad. You guys, and I think this is where like Ethan Van Sciver was talking about on his comments on Flash about, you know, I'm not going to do that to my fans, my followers and stuff. Like you guys that get on here, you start posting stuff. You're my friends, whether you like it or not. That's how I feel when I talk to you. And so I see this, like, Sushi pops up with this red-eyed tree frog, and immediately I wanted to tell you guys, like, there's this place. I don't like sushi because I don't like fish. I never have. But there's this place that has the most incredible vegetarian sushi. No, I knew a girl one time that called herself a vegetarian, but she ate fish, which was weird. Anyway, that's a different story. But man, I love the soy wraps with it's shiitake mushroom sushi rolls. And man, I'm that guy. I do the wasabi. I've never had wasabi before. I try this stuff. Man, I do that wasabi. Man, my mouth's watering right now. And then I put the little ginger. Like, I don't know if I'm using the ginger right. Sometimes I put it on there and I eat it with it. And sometimes, I'll eat it as to, like, cleanse the palate. I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. And then you got that little dish, that little soy sauce in there. Oh man, my mouth's watering. I really am. I'm drooling right now thinking about this, and I'm not hungry. I just love this taste of this thing. Anyway, one day hopefully we could have they were talking about this over Rikita law thing when he was doing the Rittenhouse trial. Was what if you had like a law YouTube get together, and like, man, that'd be so cool if we had something like that. And it would be like, dude, I love it. Anybody who's close by to where I'm in Tennessee. Don't come to my town. Like, I'd drive to anywhere in Tennessee, and like we all meet up like in this one place and I'd be like, man, okay, guys, this little sushi roll let's talk about. And also, what else they have? Raw quail eggs. Yeah, I did that. I went there. I'm done. I am getting worked up talking about food, man. Dude, it's I'm a foodie first and foremost. I'm the guy. I should have had a what's that? Yelp or even like Instagram for food, because whenever I go out and I'll take a picture of my food. And if for people who I don't post anything about it. I just take a picture of it, and I have no idea why I don't do anything with it, because later on, it's the whole experience. If food is an art that you get to enjoy, not visually, but also through your sense of smell and through your sense of taste, and also the sense of touch. So it's a very, very I don't know, artistic. I don't know the right words to use. Food's just awesome, and somebody who is appreciative of, when you think of food as an art, you eat differently. And I don't do that. I'm not like, trust me, my breakfast is Chick-fil-A. But whenever you get a chance to have like something really good, like those sushi rolls, I was like, I can just talk about that. Sorry. So okay, now I feel like I've gone off the deep end, and we're just gonna go to Frosk. Speak of this. It's weird. If you have seen it, watch it again, because you'll be watching it again with me, and you'll see like maybe you got new perspective and stuff. But well, let's just start. I'll show you.
In my gaming grievance, it's actually going to be about Red Dead Online. So the subreddit for
Sorry, that's so loud.
I'm a huge Red Dead Online player. I love Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it's probably my favorite game of all time. And right now, the Red Dead Online community are trying to get this hashtag going called Save Red Dead Online. And they've got it covered by Kotaku, Polygon, Game Rants.
Okay, so she's talking a lot about Red Dead here. And,
Rockstar will
just
and give
real quick, like Red Dead, I really want to get into it. It was on Xbox, whatever. What's that stupid gaming thing I have is. But anyway, I was playing it and just got distracted from it. Couldn't get into it. Stuff. I don't know. I'd like to get more into it. I know it's on this. What I think's funny is that like there is a part where like there's this like old woman or something, and there's some guy on YouTube. I saw the video. I can't remember what it's about. What it's called. But the guy like goes up and he like shoots the woman. he beats up the woman, like he like lassos her and like takes her, like throws her off a cliff. Like it's become an entire meme. And I don't know, the whole time Frosk was talking about this, I was thinking to myself, you know, here you are, ultra feminist, and like one of the greatest memes I've seen was where a guy just uses the female character, non-participating character, like a punching bag.
What they want, and we can actually scroll this down. I'll tell you when to stop scrolling.
Okay.
Good. Stop right there. But I'm here to tell you, and you're going to have to cut this B-roll in a second, because it's done. And what I do think there is a larger discussion about Red Dead Online, and that we need to have eventually, about game design versus immersive experience and comparing the Red Dead Online multiplayer experience versus the solo player one. But I actually want to talk about something so much more important than Red Dead Online: sexism in gaming.
Okay. So see, there you go. I was talking about that whole thing about, you know, punching and everything else. I thought when I see this, I'm thinking maybe that's what she's going to talk about. This is going to be hilarious because, you know, and I don't know if it's on Red Dead Online. I've not played Red Dead Online. I've just played the regular game for a little bit. And I'm like, what is the deal? Like, okay, this is what she's going to talk about or something like that. But then when you hear it, and she said, and this bothered me the first time I heard it, was she said, okay, keep scrolling up. In the meantime, you see the Red Dead graphics, you know, that they have playing over her talking, still going. It hits me. She's asking the teleprompter to go up. And that's the key thing that got me here. Is I don't know. And I'm watching again, really to analyze. I think this might have been all like this was planned. This was written out. And that's what I'm glad. I'm glad there's an active chat here. I'm glad y'all are here. I want you to check this out. See what you think when we go over this together.
In joining G4,
notice there's two people clap.
This is not where I thought we were going.
I know,
I'm here.
I had
I'm
no
here.
idea.
I'm listening. Yeah.
In joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something that I grew up watching as a child. But every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us. I can see you. Without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous host.
Okay. So here's something. Really, chickadee. Butt snarkling. Yeah, she has the nose ring. It should be let around with it. And yeah, they don't like games. Jimmy, you nailed it right there. They don't like games because the whole point of a game is to chill out, right? But you go brain dead for a while, and it's awesome. You know, you come out. I'll tell you what. This is something I used to do. I'm a victim of doing this to myself. I know that it's a beautiful sunny day outside, and I sit down and start playing the game, and then when I go back outside or look out, it's dark, and I'm like, "Whoa, where'd my day go?" Nights are for gaming. I learned that one. I was like, it's much better to look at it and go, "Oh, cool, the sun's out." I haven't seen a sunrise in forever. But yeah, when you do the whole day on a game, and that's too much. But these people are they're not gamers. They're not. Maybe they watch other people play games. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they do some gaming, but it's not like your traditional. You say gamer today. Look at those chompers. Quabble ball. But when you say gaming today, what does the word gamer mean to you? I think that majority of people, you're thinking Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, Assassin's Creed. Gosh, I wish. Now I'm going to throw out an old school game here, which is I think you can get it now on computer. What was the Sam Fisher? What were the gosh, what was it? I think that's the guy's name. I'm drawing a blank. See, I get excited. I can see the image. I can't get the words out. But anyway, like the gamers are like hardcore. Then you got. I don't think when you say gamer, you're talking about someone who plays Mario Kart. even though Mario Kart, I gotta say, I've been playing that more than anything lately, because you just take your Switch with you. Splinter Cell. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Splinter Cell. Oh my gosh, you can get those on whatever platform, the old Splinter Cell games. I don't know what it was about it. Like, I don't even know if I ever finished one. Honestly, when I say I don't know if I ever finished one, it's because I just remember just like being so into each mission, just like, sneaking it, and they're so accurate about firearms and whatnot. I thought Splinter Cell was great. Today, Splinter Cell would be more about what gender Sam Fisher's trying to decide to become. Anyway, so but back to her. She's sitting here, and this is my big point. This is my major point with this, and going back. She says she's watching the chat, but she doesn't ever move her eyes away. Like, I swear you can almost see the glow from a teleprompter in those dead eyes of hers. And they aren't they? It's weird. I don't know if she has contacts in or what, but she looks like, that scene in Avengers where like Loki taps Hawkeye and his eyes change. Like, that's what she kind of looks like. Like, maybe that's why she's Frosk. Maybe that's the Frosk giant. It's like one of Loki's people. I don't know what's going on with her. But let's see. Inside to my I guess it's all right. So, but she goes in, she's talking about like, the sexism, and I'm not as bangable as somebody else. Isn't this chick married to a chick? Right? Wouldn't you bet like 90% probably of anybody in this chat are guys? So what does she care about who they think's bangable? First of all, who cares anyway? All right? Like, look, let's say with chicks, there's redheads, there's blondes, there's brunettes, right? I don't like blondes. I know. I'm the guy who doesn't like blondes. I'm like the weirdo. I like brunettes. It's for years it took me to like, why is that? It's like, well, like look at. I think what it is, it's bone structure. Most blondes have more of a round face. I don't know, but everybody has their own flavor. You go in. It's like going to Baskin Robbins. You walk in, you have all these different flavors of ice cream. What flavor do you want? Well, you like to try the different flavors, but you have your favorite flavor you always end up going back to. If you're a lesbian, that's cool. I mean, great. You're happy. That's awesome. You're living the life you want to live. So that means you have just as much happiness as everybody else out there. You can be whatever it is. All right, fine. But then why do you care about what guys are saying about you, about being bangable or not? Global nailed me on that one. No, that's going up. That's going up. From birth, right? Because I'm not in. I don't do the any port into the was it any port in a storm theory. All right. The beaver from Lady and the Tramp. I'm gonna have to check that out. Well, the worst part is that she looks. I just checked out her Twitter, and like she has a photo of herself on Twitter, and she's got that Taylor Swift hairdo. I'm like, why would you have a Taylor Swift hairdo? Like the curls, the short hair with the curls, kind of like the Shirley Temple look. And it's like, suffer Sakatesh. Yes. Oh, that'd be so great. Anyway, yeah. So she gets into this, and it's like, golly, boy, I really did stop that at a great place. You know what? I'm sorry. I got to get a screen grab of that. That's got to be screen grab. That is just, I didn't even catch that. Yeah, I think that did it. Let's do another one here. I didn't do that right. I'm going to do this over here. So this way. I don't know. It's Streamlabs does not like to play with Safari. So, and I'm on a Mac. I know. So, like, screen grabs I have to do it all through Edge. Anyway, I'm gonna get over here. We're gonna keep on continuing this. But yeah, my thing. I was like, why do you care? If you're a lesbian, you're happy, right? You're happy with your wife, and that's something else. You're married. If you're married, why would you even look at stuff about being bangable? You have somebody at home. I just hope the person is at home wants to bang you. You know, well, I mean, you're married, so maybe that's not the case.
It's somehow
Talk to him, Frosk.
it has somehow been expected that you can talk about how much
You know that guy that just said talk to him, Frost? That black dude? Somebody found old podcasts of him where he is just going off about chicks and like just to put it out there, I give you a quick idea, like his perverse history with women.
jerked off to women as a compliment. It's
weird.
not a
It's
compliment.
weird.
It's dehumanizing and it's weird. Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you.
Okay. Again, I got kind of sidetracked, and that's what's so hard about this, because you get into this and you're trying to follow this, and it goes so fast and everything. Oh, by the way, I've got to give myself props. That's by accident. It's another great stop. Like that's the look of I'm going to tell you something. That is such a feminist. That explains feminism all over. You know, you're getting another screenshot because that's going to become a meme later. That is feminism. That's just that look. That's if you walk into a class and you see your professor, or you had like, oh gosh, man, I could not do public education today. Like, you know, like elementary school through high school. Luckily, you know, my teachers were laid back about everything, but like college, man, geez, I mean, I was very outspoken in college too. I always tell people, like, you know, all my classes were very conservative, very laid back, and none of this stuff, like, you know, how you should do, none of this look. And then I realized, like, oh yeah, well, I did talk a lot in class. So anyway, sorry. But yeah, so this is so fast and so active. Either she has incredibly pent up anger, which she has other issues going on. She has that. But how do you, again, remember, we went from Red Dead Online to, and I want to bring up one more thing. So she's saying what she did was she made her own platform. She went from, this is the job I'm supposed to be doing, because she even says, stop the roll, talking about, you know, stop the graphics background, and put the camera on me, focus on me, so I can get on my platform, get on my high horse. I brought my own soapbox. I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to berate the 90% of the people that probably watch this, you know, guys. And for what reason? I mean, you know, if she doesn't like the way she looks, then why is she trying to draw attention to the way she looks? Because that's what this boils down to. It's not your fault because you don't like her. You don't like the way she looks. It goes back to, you know, I'm a brunette guy. Guava's a blonde guy, right? Okay. So that's cool. Everybody has their own taste, right? I mean, fine. somebody must have found her attractive enough to marry her. And again, I don't know that for 100%. I heard that in another chat or another stream. So I'm just taking it for being real. Why not? She looks like that type. She'd be married, I guess. I was trying to see what type of jacket she has on, so that way I don't accidentally buy those clothes. But it's her. What's wrong? She has to worry about herself. Yeah, they're all blonde women. Yes, sorry. I'll put that in. I have to rephrase that. Not blondes, blonde women. And I thought this was a guy. Honestly, the first time I saw this, I listened to it last night for the first time. The first time you see it, because it's on everything. You see all the stuff. I was like, is that a guy? Like, people were calling this chick. I'm like, okay, I thought it was a dude, but I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't know anymore, because you see this weird stuff happening all the time, and you're like, I don't know what they've decided to become, and I don't care. That's the other thing. Yeah, it's weird because anybody who wants to go to a doctor or to change the way they are, anything, that's weird, because doctors, I don't like them. I don't like doctors at all. But anyway, sorry, that's nothing. That has nothing to do with this argument. The argument here is about, I really think this was planned. I think this was written, and I'm not sure it was written by her. But what you can tell by the few transitions we've already seen, from like Red Dead to her to this in the chat, the bangability thing, well, you have to think to yourself, what is her goal? What is that's how any conversation, what is the goal here? Now, the other people, I think, are kind of shocked by it, but they don't know what to do. These dudes that are on here are like the guys that are like trying to, they don't like clog dancing, but yet they're going clog dancing because they think this girl that they find attractive will bang them. God, I don't even like using bangability or banging or anything else anymore because of this chick. I just used it because it's in my mind thinking about her. Anyway, these other guys just look like they're shocked they don't know what to do, but they're going to go ahead and agree. Like, nobody challenged her on this. That's so unfair. Like, they should have, because unfair is not unfair to me. It's unfair to them. They have every right to challenge. Just be like, hey, okay. I mean, that's what I would do. Think about the Ryan Reynolds look, where he just kind of gets that weird, like, eye looking around, like, it's like, okay, you do you, and then go on with it. But no, they tried to like give it a fake, uncomfortable celebration, and to her, she had this smugness, and this goes back to that coffee house thing. That was my original illustration, that she's going to walk into her coffee house and they're all going to be proud of her. And then she's going to go to a bigger coffee house. That's her goal. Edith Van Sciver uses it's like, she is going to become a general in their movement. Right now, she's a foot soldier, and she's trying to move up that movement's ladder. She's not trying to unite anybody here. This is a war, and they are breaking down more and more and more. And there's a political theory about this, and I forgot what it is, but it's you break everybody up. If you've ever been to San Francisco, you go down the streets, and everybody knows Chinatown, right? Well, right next to Chinatown is Japanese Town. Well, it's not right next to, because the Chinese do not like the Japanese very much. That goes back to World War II. But anyway, so you got Chinatown, and then like the next street over is like Koreatown, and the next street over is Japanese Town. And to an untrained eye, to the tourist, you think, oh, okay, this is that Chinatown they talk about, everywhere. Everyone talks about, media always talks about the San Francisco Chinatown. Well, no, Chinatown is just one little small part where all these different ethnicities live, or have businesses and whatnot. But they're separated, and I thought Chicago also is very it's segregated. They're segregated, and you can see the street names. And by street, you look up and you see like these names are obviously like Polish names. A lot of like skis, like Robski, Avenue or something like that. And then you cross the street and you're in a Greek area, and then you cross another, like it's like a big intersection, and now you're in a I don't know, just a different section, right? And it's just how people came. It's how they migrated to this country, and they came it usually in waves, and it's usually because at that time in their country, the political crap was so bad they couldn't stand it, so they came over here looking for a better life. But there's a thing about keeping everybody that way and keeping strife between like this neighborhood and that neighborhood, instead of having one person that, based on the issues, is the best person out there. And so she's trying to do what it's not just she's just a front head. She's trying to divide everybody and divide gamers. And let's face it, all the gamers want to do is they want to get online, they want to cuss each other out, and you feel good and you walk away. This is so weird to go from Red Dead Online to this about, it's like sexism. Like, what are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to enjoy sexuality anymore. And here's a person that is enjoying the sexuality that she wouldn't have 50 years ago. They didn't, I mean, guys, could you imagine her showing up in an episode of Leave It to Beaver? Oh my God, I just realized I did that subliminally because of her teeth. Oh. You had the same three people clapping.
And that's just obvious sexism. You don't need to explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. Just go ahead and check out Thorne's latest meltdown on Twitter for some spark notes. Now, here at
Who? I didn't see who.
And produced by a team of people. There are too many games for one person to shoulder the burden. So we divide and.
So she admits she's not doing all the games. So there's a team of people, and this is where I'm like, I really think what she's doing is she's giving up the fact that all this is a teleprompter.
And when we use language like we or I, that's the reviewer. That's coming from the mouth and experience of the reviewer reading that review. And that's not to say that Gerard, TBH, Adam, or myself don't contribute to the reviews. We absolutely do. But it'll always be in varying degrees and take a whole team behind us. That's why we're X-Play.
What does that have to do with her thing about sexism a second ago? I mean, where is she going? She's kind of like all over the place here. Like, so now, I'm lost, right? When you hear it all in one straight stream, you come away with it with her having a meltdown. When you start going, this blah, blah, blah. By fact, look here where it stops. Look where her eyes are shifted at. Her eyes here tell a story, because that's what I'm saying. She's looking at a teleprompter here. And so her face, she's trying to look like, here's my person next to me, but she never looks at that person. If you're talking to if you're going off on a rant, you're able to do all this just completely on your own without any teleprompter. I don't have a teleprompter, and I'm going off on its own. The only difference is that I'm using my hands to talk because I'm a hand talker. So you look over to your left, and you can continue to talk about the subject you're talking about. You look over to your right, you can continue to talk about the subject. But she is looking dead on with her dead eyes. She's looking straight forward. And I think that is the whole thing. This was a planned attack. She went out there because she's the outspoken one. Let's face it, she's got more testosterone than anybody up there on that panel. And so she has no problem going up there and saying, hey, this, and that. She got back on her skateboard and, rode away.
And not Adam play. We have done the experiment and controlled for the variables. Adam will read a script written by the same writer that I will read the other half of the script for, but I'll be the one flamed. And yeah, it also happens to Gerard and TBH, but that doesn't discount the sexism of how it happens to me when it does.
Okay, so now I get into the totality of this. So she's getting flamed because the other people are reading something, but when she reads it, people are flaming her. But again, show us these flames. Show us examples of it. She hasn't shown a thing. She's just saying this happens. I don't know. I've never read this chat. I don't know what's gotten her upset. What are the specifics? Bring those up. If you're going to bring up this huge argument, you're going to hijack your own show. I'm guarantee. I mean, if this wasn't planned, the producers would be flipping out right now. Okay, I mean, this is how many times you see a show where it's like based on a show, and they're like, okay, go to commercial, cut to commercial, cut to commercial. I mean, they would have cut to commercial here. A producer would have. I really think this was planned. She has that. Her eyes haven't moved. Gosh, I just noticed it where I stopped here. She's looking in the same direction she was looking at before, and her head has moved. Again, this is why I think it's a teleprompter. My wife does not think it was a teleprompter. She watches last night with me and went off on. She's like, "This girl's crazy." Like, well, I don't think she said crazy. I think she said, well, "Why is she so upset because she's ugly?" That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're having a little temper tantrum because you're not attractive, which she really is not attractive. You don't put stuff like that in your nose and think people are going to lust after you like they did Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, I used her as an example because that's as far back as somebody I can remember. But classic beauty will always be classic. And you're fighting a million years of sex. I mean, just a million years of sex. And you've gotten down to where you are now. And everybody has something. When you're truthful to yourself about what you like or what you don't like, it's cool. Like, I have a friend of mine, like, he would see a chick with like a belly button ring, we'll say. And he's like, oh, that's kind of exciting right there. And he's like, no, this isn't like someone I want to be with exciting. But he's like, well, I'll never forget. So we're in college, and his family lived on a lake. They had boating and being out on the lake, and this was a big part of their life. And he's like, I think the girl comes out wearing a belly button ring like that. I like to see what my dad's reaction would be. I mean, so that's the thing. Yeah, she was a good-looking girl, but he wasn't being serious. He was thinking, that'd be kind of fun. That'd be, sometimes you don't always want the same thing when you go into Baskin Robbins. And this chick, she's done nothing to do anything of classic beauty. All she's done is she's made a meme out of herself. The hair, the nose, the back, the skateboard outfit here. And look at this outfit too. I was thinking about earlier. I was saying, I want to make sure I don't ever buy this clothing brand here. But that has to be the most fresh hoodie I've ever seen. Like, that's right off a rack at a department store. Every hoodie I've ever had, they've been washed so many times. They're probably washed. I probably washed them 3 times before I put them on, just because that's the whole thing about a hoodie. Matter of fact, I have a hoodie that I had in law school, and I love this thing until one day I put it on, and I wasn't going to school or anything. I was like, ooh, it just gave me that sick feeling like I was getting ready for school. Like I was putting on like as a little kid, you put on your backpack or something, and I was like, oh no, I got to take this hoodie off. Like, I felt like it was suffocating me. It's like if you ever see an old girlfriend or something, you get a hug from them, but yet you got a new girlfriend, your new girlfriend standing there, and he's like, "Ooh, this feels weird. This is a weird hug." That's how that hoodie felt. It's like, "Hey, this is weird." Anyway, so her rant though here, I see she constantly is looking into the teleprompters, what I think. And I also think this whole thing is planned. And I like how she brings up all these people in the background. Like, she's saying what we all knew, that she's not playing the games. So at this point, what good is she? Why is she on there saying anything? Like, the whole point of this show, what makes it different is that it's not just somebody reading a teleprompter. It's somebody saying, hey, this is pretty cool right here. There is something raw that Americans have really begun to embrace, and that is just the liveness of everything. And I think reality TV, there's a reason why it's popular. It's because people think, oh, that just happened. But when you start hearing about, oh, it was scripted to happen that way, man, people turn on that quick. So anyway, I don't know what the end game here was. And it's not just her end game, it's the end game of all G4.
Both things can be true, that there is a general hatred of any change that isn't Adam, and that all receive special flame just for being a woman. And I wish I could turn the camera.
Nobody thinks of you as a woman, though. I don't think there's anybody that's ever looked at her and thought of her as a woman. That's what I'm saying when I'm like, isn't she a lesbian? Isn't she married to a woman? Nobody is sitting here and thinking of her as being a chick. Like, I'm looking at her, I'm thinking, oh, look at that. Her eyes are still looking at the teleprompter. I'm just stopping so I can rant. And I'm looking up and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's still looking at me. Because I can feel those dead eyes looking at me through the screen. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies every time I look back. Anyway, I look at this chick, I think to myself, I bet you she could change the oil in my car. I bet she probably could. She looks like that, right? I can't change the oil in my car. I mean, I admit, I'm a dude. I can't change the oil in my car. Yeah, I mean, when I say can't, yeah, I have the ability to, but I don't have all the tools. And here's the other thing. You start doing all that stuff, it's not worth my time. It's not worth my time to do that. Let the pros do it. They got everything going there. She looks like she'd be the chick that pops her head up at the oil changing place. It's, on that little hole in the ground that I hate driving over. You know what I'm talking about? She's like an oil gopher, we'll call them. That's what she looks like. She ought to have if this were like an 80s rock video, which, by the way, were the greatest rock videos of all time. I don't care who you are. You should be on YouTube at least once a week looking at like these old 80s rock videos because they just make you feel good. Anyway, like Elvis music. Nobody listens to Elvis music and thinks, boy, that was depressing. She looks like she should have some grease on her face, like streaks of grease. I just don't think anybody's doing anything, saying anything just because she's a woman. I mean, that's kind of an insult to women. Let's go on.
Around so that you could see the incredible team that make X-Play. Half of our producers and writers are women. Emily, Abby, Megan.
So we should hate
Jake,
all of them too.
Abby. It goes on and on and on. Former writers that are now on ATOS like Vanessa. When you're in our DMs or on those YouTube comments or in Twitch chat right now, those reactionary threads thinking that I'm somehow ruining your current X-Play experience because you can't objectify me how you previously did.
Well, you are. You are
less qualified to speak on something, but you can't quite put your finger on why, even though I'm.
Wait a second. Yeah, you are. You're running the G4 experience right now. I mean, you literally are. There is no debate about that. You literally, at this very moment, have destroyed that G4 experience for this episode. And you think you're wrong about something and can't put your finger on why? Yeah, I absolutely can put my finger on why. Because you are wrong. You're wrong about all of this. You're not showing any analytical proof. You're showing that it's your feelings. And you know what? Feelings don't matter, man. Because, again, some people feel like it's hot. Some people feel like it's cold. They're sitting side by side in the same room. It's just, feelings is a personal thing. And when you start talking about your feelings, it's like, oh, my feelings are this and that. If you let your feelings guide your life, I hate to tell you, but you're not going to go far in life. You're going to be stuck in a room. You're going to be in a constant lockdown. You're going to be inside your turtle shell. You know what you got to do? You got to feel like, hey, this is great. Even when it's bad, you think to yourself, wow, this is awesome. You know what? My personal life right now, it's in the crapper, okay? Because I've got issues with, like I've said this every day, I've got a family member in the hospital right now. That sucks. But you know what else? It's a challenge. And it's another challenge. And you got to face that challenge. And when you don't have challenges anymore, you stop living.
Reading the exact same script as Adam, but you have no problem with he's part of it. You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day, and you're gatekeeping the gaming space. So maybe
I'll say this: she's a much better looking guy than Adam is.
For 2022, we'd be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
Oh my gosh! Let's watch these rejects here clap, and look at this. I mean, it's like, what is this? This supposed to be young Santa Claus over here. He's got the red shoes and he's working on the beard. And then you got this guy here. He's like, he goes home and he's laughing. You know, he's like, man, I fooled those suckers today. And then you got the TV guy. Why is he on TV? Is he afraid to leave the house? Look at it. She's just in her smugness. You got to back her. Oh, yeah, yeah. Why would guys be clapping to this? And you see that? Well, did you see that? She throws up those arms at the end like, what? Like she won some sort of like contest or something. You hear one chick that's in the background. She's probably one of those producers, probably the producer that wrote this segment. You know, she's screaming louder. She thinks screaming louder. Oh, hang on, dude. I just saw out my window. I opened my window up. My everything I've got here is shut down. Okay, like I can shut everything down for a studio deal. Got the soundproofing deal happening, and I opened it all up for the before I did this because I wanted to see outside, see the world, and I just saw the first birds of the year. So that's cool. That gives you hope. It's going to get warm again. Anyway, you got that one chick at the end screaming louder than anybody else. But you gotta love that, you know, because we all know it is. Those people that go the louder, loudness does not mean it sounds like there's more people cheering you. It just sounds like there's one person in the room that's a little off kilter. Sorry. So I totally ignored the chat here while this was going on. I'm going to go back through here. Man, before I do though, man, there's got to be something else on this. There's just this whole thing just bugs me. Man, I think okay. So I totally think I wrote some stuff down too. Yeah. So that's the whole thing is, do people really put up there how bangable she is? I mean, honestly, has that been a discussion? And, you know, maybe you shouldn't read the comments. You know, when I first started doing this YouTube deal, and I just got to tell you guys, I appreciate y'all so much. Anybody coming in here, you know, please give a subscribe, because this past week has been my favorite week since doing this, because I've actually had a topic I could talk about, and I didn't get punished. And because YouTube punishes you, and it doesn't make sense. You know, everybody who does this, your goal is to get 1,000 subscribers so you can start monetizing. It's monetizing. You're not trying to get rich, but you know, if you spend a couple hours or something like that doing this stuff, you're just trying to get equal. You know, and so anyway, it's so nice, you know, to not be punished, to continue to have people come to your stuff and listen to you. And before, if I did anything vaguely like this, I would see just there'd be no content stuff. So I appreciate it all, and this week has been the best. But I'll tell you honestly, you know, when it first starts off, and I'm trying to figure out, like, well, what should you do on a stream? Everybody has these moments, you know. Like I said yesterday, like Ethan Van Sciver's, his first videos were him like going into a Michael's, buying supplies to draw comics with. So, you know, you're trying to figure out what to do and whatnot, and then you start getting comments. And my biggest, to this day, my biggest video I did was who is John Colt? And because there's a lot of stuff written up about that he's a sex offender, got on the loose, and they thought about you know, maybe he'd been involved in the Gabby Petito thing. And I mean, I was like, I don't even know who this guy is. And I didn't want to read about him because it's sickening. You hear about his crimes and stuff. And you're I saw last night, like I have like 6,700 or something like that, maybe views on that one thing. I have a ton of comments. And your comments, you're like, oh, like you get kind of like cringeworthy. Like you don't want to, even though I love Twitter, man, I'm a troll on Twitter. But it's like I didn't, because I like YouTube, I like the family, I like the people that are here. And YouTube, I'm talking about this platform. I was speaking through a stream. It doesn't necessarily just YouTube. It's, you know, well, if I don't say that right, I'll probably get, you know, another click against me. I love YouTube. I love Twitch. I love Twitter. I love it all. I love you guys. But it was so hard to like look at the comments and stuff. And then it's, later on, you don't pay attention to negativity. And it was, I got to hand it to him. Nick Rakita reminded you of the fact, all publicity is good publicity. And he was like, man, I love negative comments. He goes, that means somebody watched and commented. It fed the algorithm. And I was like, you got to think of it like that. It's a positive thing because it makes you bigger overall. And your biggest supporters are going to be the people that never say a word. So I don't think I trust her unless she wants to show, the evidence that there are people that were talking about, her bangability. Like she is. I mean, yeah, I would assume there probably is because, it's the internet, right? Was it Rule 37? But again, she's a lesbian. Most of the people are guys. It shouldn't matter to her. And I don't think now she just made her. The only thing she did was make her brand bigger. 3 weeks ago, I didn't know who she was. When I first heard her name, I was like, that's stupid. Now here I am doing a video on this. So, all right, let's see here. Going through here. You have a Discord for your channel. I do have a Discord. I gotta get into it, man. Like I don't know. I look at Discord and I'm kind of like, it seems overwhelming. I don't know. Yeah, I have a Discord. It's if it's not in my bio, I'll put it up there. I kind of forgot about it. I started on it a couple weeks ago. Even though I've had golly, I've missed a bunch of stuff. You guys have got, this is hilarious, this chat. All right. Let's see here. Olivia Munn was in fact hired because she was easy on the eyes. The fact that she joked around, did raunchy jokes was just a perk. Sex sells. Dude, is 100%. 100%. Yeah. It sells. Look, think of like beer commercials. Beer commercials are great. You got hot chicks, and the guys, they don't look like dudes I see sitting around drinking beer, right? So yeah, sex sells. I mean, that's journalism, advertising 101. Then after you get past sex sells, it's communication. You got to make sure that your what you're saying reaches its audience, and your audience accepts it, and then it can repeat it back as their own. There's a circle for communications they show you. I was a communications, I had two majors. One was communications, the other was political science, and they both would go really close together. So anyway, I didn't pay much attention to anything. Smash or pass. Dude, you gotta pass if you're talking about what I'm thinking about, because you see the tattoos on the back, you think to yourself, oh, that was done with a big pen and a lighter. So she looks like the person working last shift at Whole Foods. Now you're just gonna make me miss Whole Foods, man. When I was in law school, there's a Whole Foods there, and surprisingly, it's like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, you just kind of feel weird. I was like, man, I think maybe I need a salad. And that's so weird to say that. It's weird to admit to it. At Whole Foods salad bar, I think it was cheaper than the one at Kroger's. And besides that, it looked cleaner, which was really weird. And then I realized, looking around, I was like, boy, I've never seen so many rich hippies in my life. They'd have the Go Green, Save Mother Earth, and renewable energy sticker on the back of their G-Wagon that gets 11 miles per gallon of high octane, by the way. Let's see here. Yeah, hey, you have a cute, talented girl. You're not having many problems. She's always got a job at the strip club. But by the way, I'm still trying to figure out how to work this in. The other day I heard the best line is like, I'm working harder than an ugly stripper. And I started laughing because I was like, I have seen that ugly stripper. Yes, I've got to get my Discord going. Yes. Too much water in the Pokemons. You know what? I'm not a Pokemon person. This comment is flown right over my head. Oh, no way. No way. There's Quint is in the chat. Quint is here. Oh my gosh. Dude. Oh my gosh. That speech. Oh, that speech is so great. Oh, it's so great. I forget what it was. It was a friend of mine on Twitter has said something, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." And this guy, he loves pop culture. He loves movies. And when I say loves movies, I mean like I love movies. Like I'll always have a movie on. I'd rather watch a movie than I would a TV show. He could probably watch a movie one time, and he's got the whole thing memorized. I mean, it's bizarre how good he is at that. And he said something, and it just reminded me of the Jaws line. And I had to look it up, and I actually put it on Twitter. Just like, I took like a section of it and did it as my own. I did that whole lifeless eyes, black eyes, like doll's eyes. And oh man, it blew him up. He couldn't believe it. He's back there. He's calling me up and stuff. It was great, man. I love that line so much. I'm so happy you reminded me about that. I gotta figure out what it was I was talking about back then. But man, anytime you can quote that, oh, it's so great. I didn't know about the USS Indianapolis until that movie. I say until that movie. That movie came out way before I was born. But it's like watching it. Jaws. It's funny. A family friend has a kid who's like, I mean, he's young. And this guy's addicted to like 80s movies and Steven Spielberg flicks. And his favorite movie is Jaws. I'm like, when I was your age, I was terrified of Jaws. Yes, quit clapping. Absolutely. So here's the thing. I don't know. Why is it always clapping and cheering? It's like you say that this rant is like just because it was, you know what? It's the is it not the girl power? It's like, oh yay, girl power. They all think they're a Powerpuff Girl now or something. I don't know. Which I used to like the Powerpuff Girls until it became a Powderpuff. No, Powderpuff was. Oh, Powderpuff was the touch football. They did it at my high school with like the cheerleaders and the oh, I forgot about that. That was fun. That was real fun. Anyway. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That the bull nose, it is. Her life is soul sucking, tedious, thankless. Watching her was. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to skip some of these chats. Probably planned out. Okay, so you don't think, Guava Ball, you don't think this was a teleprompter? That's what she says. Oh, that's what she said. Right at her creepy uncle. Now, that was what I originally said. I'll admit that. It's like, where on the doll did the man touch you? No teleprompter. Okay. Because, see, I was trying to think, like, on a teleprompter, how that would work also. But it's like, my think is that there's like a highlight board, maybe take notes for a speech or something you've ever given. It's like, you highlight, do like an outline of what you're going to talk about. So you hit those bullet points, and then you should be able to fill in the middle. She went off. I mean, if that was just pure raw ranting like that, she has a power, she has a ability that she's not shown the rest of the time. Unfortunately, is that no one wants to listen to her. Unfortunately for her, nobody wants to listen to her. It's I don't know. Yeah, I've it was planned. That's my whole thing. I really think this was planned. I think she gave that probably before the speech, and she had to figure out a way to pump herself up. That's why she had that, like, when she was done, she did her shoulders. She pumped her shoulders. I had that vibe that's like Rocky. Like she was thinking, like, she just went into a fight and she won it. What's weird is how her thinking had to go from Red Dead Revolver, whatever it is, Red Dead Online, to women and sexism in gaming, especially on the show. We don't even know if there is sexism in gaming. All we know is that some chick says that in the chat, they say she's not hot. I don't know if the other chicks on the show are hot or not. I mean, she keeps complaining about bangability. She wants guys to bang her, even though she's a lesbian. She doesn't show these other chicks that supposedly work there. Are they hot? I mean, because if they're hot, they don't have the problems you do, according to you. It's a very uncomfortable thing. Yeah, she's not good at her job. This right here, I love the word validation. She just wants to lap up that validation. Yes. Gallball Discord. Yes. Okay, so I have one. I don't know anything about it. I'm gonna put it up in my bio if it's not there. I don't think it is there. I forgot about it. I've got to figure out how it works. Okay, it's and I say figure out how it works because I hear enough about it, but when I went to it, it didn't feel instinctual. And it's well, I mentioned Mario Kart earlier. If you ever notice, if you play Switch, their buttons are backwards to like an Xbox. So like if I forget what buttons where. I'm looking for my controller right now. Oh, sitting here, literally right here, it was next to me, and I couldn't find it. So like on Xbox, A is the bottom button, and X is to the left of it, and it's like usually B is back or whatever. Whatever it is, it's backwards on Nintendo. So it doesn't seem instinctual for most games. But it's like I'm playing Mario Kart, and I was like, as soon as I got back into it, I was like, oh, everything I knew and I hadn't played this game in probably a year and a half. And it clicked. Everything I was like right back in the driver's seat. Same thing with Halo, right back in being Master Chief. It's Discord was kind of off for me. Let me, you know what? Hang on. Let me see. Let me find it. Now you guys are talking about it. Let me see if it's on. I can't remember. So, I said I have to use Edge to do StreamYard, and then I'm using Safari for this other stuff. And, you sign into something, you say, yes, memorize my password. And it will, wait, hold on here. Is this it? Okay, so, well, this is at me. How do I share the link? Let's see here. I'm gonna mess this up. Frosk is gonna get this, and she's gonna get in here and mess things up. Watch. Let's see here. We're gonna go to this. See if this works. Where'd that go? I lost it. Does that work? I clicked the save the link, show the link. Oh, hey, I didn't know this. I did not know this. So they're going to talk about their own topic of choice of the stream. She picked sexism and gaming. Red flag. I suspect she rehearsed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if they didn't know it beforehand, yeah, you know she did. She had to have it written down. She had to have. She had her talking points, and that's the whole thing. And that's what I was like in an outline. It's talking points. You know, she's got the red pen. She's making little stars. And she's like, I want to bring up, and then I'm going to be sure, and I'm going to name every chick that works there. She's naming their names because at that point, she's diffusing the attention. She's like, it's not just me, it's all these other people. Because when you first watch this thing, you know, here's the thing that you're not thinking about. And this is where I'm trying to I'm always trying to bring the facts and try to think of it as like the rules of evidence. I'm not always trying to do that, but I want to share that with you guys and maybe give you a different way of thinking about it, a more critical way of thinking about it. So you've got her, she's sitting there, you're like, where is this, how do we know that people said you weren't bangable? What was it, anybody? Did you check to see who it was? Oh, hey, you know what? I'm glad you guys brought me into this. I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to take that off real quick. I'm going to share. Let's see here, because I saw Yellow Flash this morning had a stream, and I was like, hey, you know what? This would be perfect for me to show these things. Everybody's been talking about this for a while. Adam Sessler. He's such a great guy. He loves everybody. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Let's see how that looks over here. Let's see here. You know, I'm going to go to this. Make it bigger. G4. I hate these ads, these banner ads at the bottom. So there he is. What a good looking. Does he not look a little bit like Neil Young right there? That's weird. Okay, so he claims Republicans are stupid, sexist, racist, and drink piss. Okay, fine. That's great. But you're using this. Can anybody go to their job and say this? You can't say that about people like where you work. What was it? Clay Travis, when the NFL taking the knee, all that stuff was happening. And then there was a thing about abortion, and somebody did something. Abortion is always such a divisive conversation. And I'm not here to talk about that. So don't run away. I'm not talking about abortion. I'm just talking about using that as an example. Somebody was talking about it. You understand how divisive it is. And then he said his example was, what if your UPS guy came to your house and he brings up your package and he says, well, how do you feel about abortion, before he hands it to you? Or you're at Walmart and you're checking out, and that works with Frosk here. That would be a perfect. I'm going to blend the two now. So you're at Walmart, you're at Target, you're at Whole Food, you're checking out, you're going through the lane. The person's back, scanning your stuff, and then he looks at you and go, while you're here in my line, sitting here, I've got your attention. I want to talk to you about sexism in gaming, or I want to talk to you about sexism in Walmart. I mean, what's that going to do to you? You're going to be like, what? You're like, what's happening here? And then all of a sudden, it's like, if you don't agree with them, you're a sexist. How about this one? Just be like, hey, how are you doing today? Thank you for choosing my store. Because as long as people continue to shop here, I continue to have a job. I continue to have a discount on stuff I buy here. I mean, let's face it, we're all good. I mean, that's the reason to work at Walmart, is that sweet discount, and you get first picks at electronics. So Adam Sessler, and I thought this guy, I just think he was cool. He hit that old man crazy age. Like, it's like he hit man menopause. And man menopause has got to be, maybe we ought to call it manopause. Manopause It's got to be the worst thing to ever happen to a man. It's like all of a sudden, he was skinny. He wore T-shirts, and he's like, just seemed like he's laid back wearing jeans. He didn't care about anything. He's just like, he looked like having a job on G4, even though he's like, this is the best job I could get, talking about something I like, but it really annoys me that I'm not at home playing games. And he went from that to, oh man, these games are so complicated today. There's too many buttons. Which, you know what, honestly, there might be on some games. This is why I never like fighting it. That's not an old man thing. When fighting games is, I've never liked them. I never liked the whole layout of having to do combos. I hate combos when I'm being attacked by some stupid ass grub in Gears of War, or the Covenant's coming after me in Halo. I hate trying to think I need to hit X, Y, and B, but I meant to hit X, B, and Y. Sorry, rant off. So he's attacking half the people. Now, what I've found also is that it seems like gamers, they're the perfect person to want to be left alone. I mean, who doesn't want to be left alone? It's weird. But this one here, stupid. Then you hit racist and drink piss. So evidently, he hangs out in a lot of Republican restrooms where he watches them fill up urine cups and proceed to drink it. He's talked to them, and all they do is talk about stupid stuff and racist remarks. Now, here's the thing. What is the bald white guy upset about racist stuff for? I mean, why would anybody go up to him and talk racist things? I mean, it's not racist if there's no other race in the room. I hate to tell you that. It's a plurality of people. The whole, and I say this, I'm not supporting it, I'm not defending it or anything else. I'm trying to talk on the political, the science standard, the philosophical standard of this. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Well, if a person says racist things to himself and nobody hears it, is he a racist? Well, you have to look at then, is the act just racist? Did they do consciously make acts that were racist acts? It's like it's mental res and actus reus, the mental and the physical act. Y'all all know that. Mens rea. And then mentis reus, I don't know. Mens rea and actus reus. So you have the mental, and then you have the physical act of doing something. How many times are you're in your car, someone cuts you off, and you're like road rage, and it's you say something like, oh, I hope you whatever. You hope harm upon somebody, but you don't really mean that. You're not going to go and cause harm to that person. So that you aren't accountable for that. You can't be accountable for thought. I think it was Thomas Jefferson that was talking about the freedom of speech, was that a man can't be held liable for going for a stroll through the woods and have a random thought pop in his mind. Jimmy Carter in his Playboy interview, by the way, the Playboy interviews of the 70s, if you don't know about them, like Jimmy Carter, Muhammad Ali, John Wayne, those are some of the big ones to check out. They're very, like what John Wayne said would be considered very controversial and racist today, but when in the overall scheme of it, what he was talking about was more of a much more intellectual than he'd be given credit for. Not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying that it's funny how here it is. These are some of the best interviews given in history, and they came from Playboy. So anyway, Adam Sessler. So here he goes. No pee for me, because that's him. He's virtue signaling. Yes. So I can get out of my system once a day. Republicans are racist and drink piss. Okay, drain piss is the act. So you've seen them do this? You actually seen this happen? And racist, what is racism? And I don't even think racist is racism as it is meant to be, meant to the words to represent anymore. It's sad that he is cheapening it, and he's making it. He's part of this whole system to just make it a cheapened, pathetic way to attack somebody. Matter of fact, I think it's stupid. I think it's a stupid comment, and I don't care if he said Democrats are stupid, racist, and drink piss. Them may smell like cat pee, but that's only old lesbians. Sorry. Then you go on. It's like he says they have a small parabola. Okay, I don't know what parabola is. Maybe that's he just wants Kool-Aid. Yes. Once upon a time, Playboy really did have good articles. This is Kiss. You are so dead on right. I'm surprised there isn't a book of the old articles of Playboy. Like I think that would probably be more popular today than the centerfolds. But parabola, it's a mathematical equation about swinging. Two lines swinging. I mean, gravity and force, whatever, okay? But it's a mathematical equation. I'm like, this guy does not know what this is. This guy has like a word of the day, and he found it, and he's like, I'm going to make a tweet about this and prove how stupid Republicans are because they don't know what parabola is. There you go. See? Oh, he's responding to swing a Republican. Oh, great. So they're talking about hanging Republicans now. That's great. They only swim between white nationalism and Nazism. Nazism and communism are based on the socioeconomic idea of wants and demands, where communism tells the consumer what to buy, and Nazism or fascism, excuse me, Nazism is different than fascism. I made that mistake. Well, fascism is the where the government tells the businesses what to make. White nationalism, I think that's funny. Really, the word they don't care about white nationalism. They care about nationalism. They want to be borderless. That's the whole thing. For communism to work, there can't be borders. So every time they say white nationalism, it's just another way to cheapen the word nationalism. You're allowed to have nationalistic pride. I bet you this year, and here's what's going to happen, because there's already rumors that Brandon's not running for re-election. So after this election cycle, it's going to go immediately into a presidential stuff. I mean, it's just how it starts working, man. I mean, it's $1 billion industry running for president. And you're going to see nationalism attacked. I bet you this year you're going to see the 4th of July attacked like never were. I mean, remember, they tried to shut down the 4th of July, 2 years ago? Remember how bad it was that Trump went to Mount Rushmore for fireworks? And it's like, Mount Rushmore is out in the middle of nothing. And they're like, oh, no, you're going to be near a virus. You're going to be spreading stuff. It's like, no, I don't think anybody died from corona that were at Mount Rushmore. I don't know. I'm just saying that because you didn't hear about it. Checking the newspapers and stuff, it wasn't reported. It may have happened, may have caused a whole plague out there. I'm not going to say that it didn't happen. I'm not saying that it wasn't reckless. I'm just saying that it was sensationalized. And I really think that nationalism, you're going to see that it is going to be attacked. And then, of course, everything's Nazis, because y'all know that John Kennedy's father supported the Nazism movement. It's so weird to me how all this stuff is. Let's see here. Oh, great. Let's see here. Interesting that secret about 2 weeks from out of office. this is just dumb. I'm not going to give that one gratification. Politically, all of this, they're a terrorist organization now. They got mad because they found out that after the terrorism was finally given a definition by the FBI, that a lot of the left-wing radicals, the Saul Alinsky stuff, was reclassified as terroristic acts. Ever since then, they've tried to do everything to say the other side is terrorist. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to give Adam Sandler any more time. Adam Sandler. Did I say Adam Sandler? Sessler. Anyway, that whole thing is just it's messed up. It's a messed up. Not running for re-election. He won't make it to re-election. You're probably right about this. I mean, I can see it happen. Gotta run. See you guys. Guava ball. See ya. Sorry. Yeah, kiss the Brandon won't run for re-election. Wonder why it is. Nonsensical words on. That's in front of the Pope. I mean, I thought I would write that about him pooping his pants all the time, and I think that's something else that needs to be answered. Did that really happen? Of course, it happened. Yes, it did really happen. It was never reported against it. I want to know the details though, because I don't know. Maybe I'm a scatologist, and I'm enamored by scat and the presidency. Anyway, no. Yeah, if Kamala Harris gave a interview and they asked her about will she be on the ticket, and she refused to answer the question to CBS, and that was the big red flag to everybody, which I hate that red flag term. It's appropriate when talking about Frosk, though. Anyway, yeah, this whole stuff with Sessler, you can just see. I got to bring all this back together, Frosk and everything. Is all of this is just it's part of a plan. And nobody wants this. All we want to do is have fun and play games and read comics. And, think about it. We're a generation that's unlike any other generation. It's right now, like, I mean, who doesn't look at, like, some of these Star Wars Black figures or some of these Marvel Legends and stuff like that, these toys, the new Matchboxes and stuff like that are coming out. These, was it the $25,000 R2D2 they're selling at Disney World? You see this stuff, and it's stuff that you wanted as a kid. It never became reality, and you're at the point now where, hey, this stuff is starting to. It's real. I mean, this is cool. It's not. You're not ashamed to. Used to be, it's like, oh, I'm too old to watch cartoons. I mean, the cartoons my grandfather would have grown up on. I still love, I've said before, Tom and Jerry is awesome. And those cartoons, you grow up on back then, and they wouldn't watch them now. They'll be like, oh, well, I'm too old to watch cartoons. But we're the generation where it's like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't seen this in forever. This is so great. It's on. And you just sit there and you start watching the cartoon. Same thing with your toys. All of a sudden, we're going back to quote unquote analog toys because it's like, wow, look at the detail of these things. They're like little miniature statues. They're pieces of art now, and how you display them. Go to Reddit. You gotta see their action figure subreddit, and these photographers, man, and they don't even know they're photographers. They're just taking really great pictures, and they look so real. They're so awesome. And you see this stuff, and it's like, man, that's my imagination coming, to life, and I can do that now. And that's all any of us want to do. And then you have these insipid, just gross people like Frost that can't be happy in anything. There's no joy. Describe joy for me, Frost. Describe the perfect weekend, okay? What is that like for you? And they can't describe it. They would give you something like, well, it would be the perfect weekend would be that there's no pee drinking Republicans around. If you're sitting there letting some political party control your life, they don't exist. Okay, there's nothing there. What is this political party? What has to happen? What legislation has to be there for you to finally have your perfect life? By the way, you're being extremely self-centered And you're bigoted. You're bigoted that your thoughts and your ideas and your feelings are the only ones that matter. And you're not thinking about the person across the street or the fact that, you know what, the person that you think is wrong may actually be right. And what they say may actually be able to help you more than hurt you. My theory, and this goes back to when I was in college, and you're having all these issues brought up to you. You know, everybody, college is an area of ideas where you should be able to speak your mind and hammer things out to form an opinion. And that opinion, you're also supposed to learn that opinion is allowed to change, and better arguments change opinions. And my opinion, though, that I drew then, this is so right. So right. 100% right. You know what? You need to change that. You're D-Generation X. Do you remember them? Do you remember wrestling? Do you ever watch that? Everybody, we're all D-Generation X. Doesn't matter your age. It's the people that we have the wrong think. But I was saying the political theory. Just watch how the Second Amendment is treated, because it is so funny. Because if you take the arguments against the Second Amendment and then apply that to any other freedom, any other issue, any other constitutional issue, and you'll see the absurdity of some of these arguments. It's like, oh, if we do this, it's going to solve everything. No, it doesn't. Okay, there's always going to be bad people and bad things happening out there. You're never going to have this utopia that you think you're going to have. Here I am in Tennessee. Tennessee had one of the biggest utopias back in the 60s, where they were able to, I don't know, eat grains and poop outside. And you know what? It's not around anymore. There's no utopian society from the 60s. Gosh, man, History Channel used to have the best shows about the 60s. And anyway, no utopian society that ever existed back in that weird twist of a change. Baby boomers, right? Let's just face it, from World War II, they'll come around the 60s, and their ideas, they want to be just completely opposite with their parents. And so they screwed everything up. You had the greatest society, right? The World War II group, the greatest generation, and their kids all wanted to just shit on it. And you're like, what is going on here? How about just be happy because you have everything that nobody else before you has ever had? And that's how we are now. You got everything that nobody before you ever had. And a few years ago, it was like all we had to do was, we can't be happy until we have health care. Okay, well, then you look at it and you go, well, wait a second here. Now you have this lockdown. You have all these other things. Who do you want telling you what healthcare is? Yeah. Maybe all of a sudden it's not a bad idea to be able to choose your own doctor. And then it was, as long as you go to your doctor, you listen to CDC and you do what's right and you have your vaccines and you don't listen to Jane McCarthy. But if you can find the 1994 Playmate of the Year issue, I do suggest you look at it for a, educational experience. I got myself tickled. I'm sorry. All this stuff is just quit telling me how to live my life. All right, just quit telling me how to live my life. And you see it in products. I mean, like, you wear a pink shirt and people will make fun of you. It's not that I love pink, it's that pink loves me. Okay, I wear pink any chance I get to. And it's a striking color, and you're always noticed when you wear pink. And it's a great color for dudes, especially, that deep, hot pink's what I call it. It's called, what is it, the 90s pink? Was that it? Or Miami Vice pink, whatever. Yes, I thought for a second you were saying I've gone all through history. This has gone on all through history. Yes, it's true. It's time is circular, and it's so frustrating when you just want to be left alone, and there are people that don't want to leave you alone, and that's where There's that whole movement a few years ago about like these 3% thing was like 3% of the people fought in the American Revolution. I didn't believe any of that stuff until recently. I was like, you know what? It is. There's that small group. You listen to, you educate yourself in whatever it is you do. You educate yourself. You're playing your games. You're educating yourself into that game. You know your hobbies. You know your things. And then to have hobbies are the key. Then you have this other group that doesn't want anybody to have a hobby. So whatever hobby you have, they want to control it for some reason. They don't want any hobby. They don't want it to just be able to run wild. Wait till 3D printing. It's gonna be the next thing, dude. I can only hope that it becomes too big before they start trying to regulate it. I thought the internet was too big, and then now we see how it is. I don't know. It's stupid. It's Frosk and her kind. There is no debating this because you're not going to change opinions. Debating this, I'm not saying like not debating me or anything like that. I'm going back to how this whole thing started with Flashcast and the quartering. It's just and I hope Quartering does the interview. I really do. I hope he gets a lot of clicks out of it. Best to him. Hope he can buy another plane. That's awesome. But I do not. There's those of us, y'all that are listening, myself. We've seen this so many times, and we're just—it's like you're screaming out there. You're like, "Don't do it!" It's like you scream if you watch a movie and you're like, "Why is that stupid ass girl going down those steps?" Then Freddy Krueger or whoever, Freddy just came to my mind, is gonna get her as soon as she goes down those steps. Why is she going down those steps? And you're frustrated from it because you've seen it a million times, and now here's 1,000,001, and you just want to say enough is enough. Don't go down the steps. Okay? If we just had 1 year, we could get everybody just 1 year, leave everybody alone. No new laws. Congress, Senate, they didn't meet. Nothing was passed. There's no new regulations, nothing else like that. What do you think would happen? What would happen? You can do that on a state level. You can do that on a city level, a county level, but they never do. Just let everybody have fun. Just open stuff up. Say, hey, yeah, listen, if you want to, they don't let you fly drones. These are little toys that weigh a couple of ounces because they're afraid you're going to fly them into airplanes. If that had happened, there'd already be airplanes would be attacked by drones by somebody. My gosh, 9/11 happened by some idiots with a razor blade. A stupid ass box cutter. And everything had to change over that. It was trillions of dollars had been spent because of box cutters, a 49-cent box cutter. And, nothing, this stuff, if no regulations had happened, no Patriot Act, none of this stuff, nothing would have changed. None of this would have, thanks to net neutrality. All this stuff is, it's just smoke and mirrors. And these people, they get in a panic. Government workers get into a panic that maybe they aren't working or people see them as not working. So they create new entitlements, new positions for themselves. Like I said to you guys before, I'm in Tennessee. Shelby County, the city of Memphis, the largest city in Tennessee, 1 million people. They got this deal. It's like rush to the top, education, something insufferable deal. And it's where the schools in this system do so bad that the state comes in and takes them over. They took over 4 schools in Shelby County, 2 in Davidson County. And in the 4 schools in Shelby County, the state took over. They spent $1 billion to bring up their scores, because scores evidently matter. $1 billion on those 4 schools, and they're in worse shape now than when they started. They've had control for 10 years. They went through an entire, maybe 2 generations of kids, depending on if it's, let's say high school. My high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. That'd be 3 generations of kids went through there, and each generation got worse off. Spending $1 billion, man. That's I was like, hold on, I'm trying to do my math. 8 billion, a little bit over 8 billion per generation of kids. I mean, you could have given every kid, you could have given the kids that money and they'd be better off today. You could have given every kid, you could put all that money into a savings account for them, and they'd be better off than this. The games can hammer drones. Oh my gosh, Jimmy, YouTube, anytime you want to chat, man, hit me up, dude, because that is the most insightful, brilliant thing I've ever heard. It is such a thing with me. Again, I'm in Tennessee. There were some floods just a little bit back that I didn't know happened. I wasn't paying attention to the news or anything like that. And they were in a different part of the state in this teeny tiny town. And after the flooding happened, I saw this drone. They had one drone had gone through where this creek it washed people's houses away. There were people that they found the woman's flip-flops that she wore, but nothing else in her entire she lived in a trailer. It got picked up, floated off somewhere. They couldn't find her anything, but they found the flip-flops outside. And I thought to myself, how horrible that has to be. I was like, here we got all these people, all these drones. If the FAA would let us fly these things, you could find everybody after all this happens. And I found, because this guy, it's a beautiful, beautiful video, and goes right down the middle of this creek, and it shows how high up it was. The water, the trees are sticking out of the water. You see all this junk in them and everything else. But it's still beautiful. The video, the film, the cinematography and everything was great. And I was like, oh my gosh, we ought to be able to do that. But no, the FAA won't let you fly them because you got to be a licensed, I think it's commercial, or you have to have a pilot's license to fly these things. But no, some Afghanis over there eating the dogs that they left behind, flying these drones around that are flying these drones around. They sold them to China. So they've got them all these drones, and they're flying these things. And these things are the size of airplanes. I mean, these things are huge. These are huge payload dropping things. And what did we do? The whole thing was responsible. I was trying to blame Trump. Sure, I mean, you're pushing the blame off somebody else and everything else. This is all stupid. It's all stupid stuff. And just like Frosk, she's trying to blame you for the fact that she's insufferable. You know what? She needs to go see a therapist, and maybe she needs to be off TV. She can't handle TV. Some people just can't handle success, and she obviously can't handle it. And what is his name? Menopause? Sessler? Dude, man, you need to chill out. Because all these people you're attacking, these are your fans. And you know what? I'm tired of being a fan and being attacked because I am a fan. I'm tired of being said, oh, you can't have an opinion that's not like mine. You know what? It sounds boring. Your world is a boring, whitewashed world, and it's stupid too. Because you know what? I like rainbows. I like looking up and seeing rainbows in the sky, because all those different colors, they don't go together, but they sure are cool looking. This is just, it's become it's going to be 2022. This is it. I'm ranting. I'm going off course. I apologize for that, and I've spoken way too long. Blaming the butler is just easier. Okay, so what do I do in Discord? I know nothing about Discord. I'm going to try to get onto it. I'm going to try to do the thing. We're going to get off this. Yeah. Anyway. Is this still on? Man, something happened. I don't know how it would jump back. It said disconnected. I think I'm back. I don't know. But with that, I am going to get off here. I am going to try to get on Discord. General voice channel on Discord. Okay. Dude, I'm not even sure I know what that is. I bet you I probably spent like 15 minutes on that. Discord, it is. Well, there it goes. Oh, don't you say boomer moment. The only boomers the booming mic. Baby boomers and their stupid stuff. All right. Anyway, guys, Degeneration X, man, don't forget about. I love old wrestling videos too. That's what happened. I keep saying I love this old stuff. I love this old stuff because you know what? It goes back to I like knowing that I'm not going to be disappointed. Okay, I could watch WrestleMania 2. Was it 2 or 3, whatever it is, with Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant? I can watch that right now. That would be awesome because I'm not going to be disappointed. Jeez. This is why I need to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again. You guys know what I'm talking about. The original one. That was so great. All right. I'm going to try this Discord. And old stuff is better. You know what's going to be the thing about that? Well, you know what? Cougars are better. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, they hate hearing that. There's a certain demographic that hates hearing that, but man, it is true. You're like, what just happened? All right. Love you guys. I really do. Y'all, anyone made it to this, don't forget, subscribe, like, share, all those good things. Fight the algorithm. And I'm going to try Discord here. And I don't know if I'll be able to do it because honestly, I've spent like 10 minutes on. I've never. Maybe I signed up on my phone and then I got onto it with my computer. So, all right, let's try this thing. And till next time, guys. Godspeed, peace. I got to figure out how to end the broadcast. If I was cool, I'd have an outro. I don't have a cool outro. Where's this thing? Wait a second.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Beetlejuice.